make it. Too many people, they don't let me down. But I keep it real, no time for hating. I'm always on that PC trying to shape my sound. See, I'm just trying to make it. I've got some people I cannot let it down. Aiming for the top of the mountain. Not there yet, but I've left the ground. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Oh, I left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Oh, hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my...
Yo, we back in this thing. Play my music. All right, now. We got another episode, J Talk Sports. I got my man C Money Pie up in the building. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to go ahead and CJ start it out and let people know where to find you at and all that shit. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into this shit, y'all. We're a little late, but we here.
Over here at Pennington Network, Sundays. Hey, not Sundays, just change time. Mondays, 8 o'clock. New time, everything. Job kind of switched to my eyes and everything. So we're going to do Mondays at 8 from now on. Or you can also catch me at my music channel, 414 CJ. Just dropped a new song over there, Double Tap. Go check that shit out. Go fucking like and subscribe to that channel too. I need some more views up.
Look, y'all, make sure y'all engage. Hey, look, no bullshit. It ain't that really hard for y'all to tap on it. And I will tell you here, write your link in the comment section and put it in there. So y'all can click on the hyperlink. I make it a little easier for y'all to go over there. Make sure y'all, because if y'all like good music, y'all will definitely like his music over there. Go sub up, man. We're trying to build that up over there. Trying to build up everything around here. But welcome back to another episode of J Talk Sports. We got a few topics to talk about. I know y'all see the title up there. Yeah, I'm done with the 90s, but we got some other shit we gonna talk about because a lot of stuff's been going on in the league. Now, CJ's gonna start us off with some more recent stuff before I get into my being pissed off on my soapbox. So, I think the first one that we wanted to talk about was Timberwolves and the Pistons.
Yeah, that bullshit. That's fight.
So here, y'all, let's check this out real quick. Like, and CJ, you give them a narration what happened. Real quick, like before I pull it up.
It was a fucking scuffle between 4 players, really. It went back and forth for about 2-3 possessions. And it kind of basically led up to this play by Nas Reed, and the Pistons and T-Wolves got into it. They was calling it Malice in the Palace 2.0, but the shit, it was nowhere.
All right, check it. If any of y'all see the Malice in the Palace, y'all will say after watching this, it ain't that.
No,
it definitely ain't.
But long story short, it was a fucking shoving match. Got pretty deep, but Kendrick Perkins online, and he did go on ESPN the very next day saying, "I think Isaiah Stewart should be banned for life from the NBA." I don't know if he's but if Ron Artest was able to be in the NBA as long as he was, I feel like Isaiah Stewart has time to clean up his act. But hey, this is what happens during the game. I should split the film roll, JVJ. That motherfucker can speak for itself. We can stop at a certain point because I know it's going to show the.
Yeah, it's real long. They start going into the review and shit. Yeah, check it, y'all. Kendrick Perkins just need to shut up, but here we go.
Ron Holland was a really good high school player. Good fake.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled by Holland.
Man, oh, come on now.
Stevens. Big time brawl now in the front row.
Gotta stay.
It's going to take a lot to break this up.
You got to stay out of the crowd. This is not good.
This has been building on the last handful of possessions. Nas Reed had taken exception to Holland and was wagging a finger in his face. This crowd who braved the cold and the snow on its feet, applauding the intensity. The Timberwolves finally showing some fight in this ball game. And the officials are going to have a lot to look at as you look at DiVincenzo's neck.
The coaches are getting into it. The coaches are literally fighting with each other.
And look, y'all, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit so y'all can see how everything initially kicked off and shit. Cause this is the biggest part. So check it out.
At all, in my estimation, they all came running over there.
And so, again, just looks like a regular foul by Holland, but Nas Reed
plays under review for an altercation.
Wagging his finger. Holland pushing DiVincenzo. And so they get tied up. Oh, look out, Kingman. This is what the officials are looking at right now. This is the angle. And again, Holland trying to discard DiVincenzo. Again, DiVincenzo has been pushed one too many times. So a lot of pushing and shoving there. You see Stewart in the center of it.
Sasser's
now in it. Gobert's trying to pull Sasser.
There's way too many coaches, Piston coaches in there. There's too many people in here.
See, y'all got it. Y'all got it just right. Y'all got it just, man. Give me your thoughts on it, man. Give me your thoughts on this situation.
Long story short, I think it's just a fucking shoving match, and these niggas got to get that shit together. I mean, it was petty as fuck, for real. Motherfuckers just pushing, shoving. I mean, DiVincenzo, you showed he wasn't no bitch, but yeah, just a fucking normal shoving match. Motherfuckers got ejected. The coach is getting into it. It was very interesting, I'll say that much. That's the person the coach gets into it. But this is the newer era of basketball where we got fucking coaches that are former players. So we gotta also understand that one of the coaches that got ejected was Pablo Precioni. That nigga played for the New York Knicks and also played overseas. He's not no bitch in any way, shape, or form. Most of these coaches ain't no bitches. Like
they going out like no hoes.
Exactly. They not going for that ass shit. But I'm with Rob. They playing patty cake. These niggas ain't really out there trying to fight for real. Ain't really trying to lose no contracts and nothing like that. That's why I kind of don't understand the hate for Isaiah Stewart in terms of throw him out of the NBA. There was no punching or anything like that. Especially if we're considering player to player. The NBA doesn't throw niggas out of the league for player to player violence. The only person that got thrown out of the league was fucking Ron Artest, and that's because he swung on a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Stephen A. Back to this shit. I know I shouldn't be talking about it again. It's a whole other topic. But, nigga, if Braun would have swung on you, how many games do you think he would have got?
They would have did. They would have just sent him away for the rest of the season.
Exactly. Or vice versa. Stephen A., you swing on Braun. Do you think they would let you back in the Laker game for life? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they might ban him for they might ban him for life just to make a point.
You know what I'm saying? He might be the first reporter ever to be banned from an NBA arena for life.
Yep. He'll be like the AP when it comes to the White House. Y'all can't come in here and cover nothing no more.
Yeah, but going back to the Isaiah Stewart situation and the rest of the T-Wolves, that shit was petty. I know a lot of players got suspension they lost like game money because they're being suspended from games. But before I go into that, Jay, you tell me your thoughts though.
Well, I think look, it was a part of basketball, man. Like, this is why I say I don't like how, and this is why it's going to lead to the topic later on, why I'm done with a lot of people from the 90s that speak on basketball. These players got heart. These players done played pickup ball. They done played street ball. They've been in college, high school, little league, whatever the fuck, all the way to the league. Like, these dudes are competitive and they not soft like a lot of these old heads try to play them like they want to be. Just because they ain't out there swinging, like, really go back to the 90s and the 80s and all that. These players weren't really swinging anyways. It was a lot of pushing and shoving matches. These dudes have in the back of their head, all of them, even back then, this is their livelihood. This is how they feed their family. They not going out there just being reckless. The craziest thing I think that we all saw in basketball was what happened in the Malice in the Palace when Ron Artest ran up in there. But you know how they talk about how Ron Artest was hard and Ben Wallace was hard? Ron Artest got into it with Ben Wallace. But you see, he ain't want no smoke with Ben Wallace, but he ran his ass up in them stands to go fuck with a fan. Ben Wallace mushed you all in your face. I was watching that game live when it came on. He mushed you all in the face. What you did, you walked your ass over there to the scores table and laid down, but as soon as that fan threw a water bottle at your ass and hit you, yeah, then you and Steven Jackson want to run up into the crowd. Like, let's be real about it. Like, they got heart. They not soft like any of this shit. But this right here, that was over a whole lot of nothing. DiVincenzo, I understand you got your team. You trying to have your teammate back, but look, you look too small. You need to move out the way. Hollins, I don't know what the hell you was just on. And that other dude, Sasser, like, dude, you just egging it on in the crowd. Like, he already up in the crowd on the fans. Like, why you coming in and moving them close up on the fans and pushing on them? Like, ain't none of y'all finna swing. So just, that's what you say you hope cooler heads prevail. And the coaches, that part that you brought up about the coaches, yeah, a lot of them former coaches. But once again, just like them, we can sit here and say that's tough and hard and all that. But in all honesty, man, look, everybody got to be smarter about that. And that's why you said people got suspended.
Yeah, it was, I know, like Rob said, Beef Stew, that nigga got suspended for 2 games. 4 of the players got 1 game, according to NBA.com. I know he was gone. They all getting without pay, obviously. Ron Holland, second, he's gone. Marcus Sasser, he's gone. Naz Reid, he's gone. DiVincenzo, they all got 1 game. Ironically, Isaiah Stewart was the only one to get 2. Crazy enough.
Why they give Isaiah Stewart 2? What did he do?
I feel like Isaiah Stewart was probably the most unnecessary one. He shouldn't have got 2 games.
It looked like he was trying to break it up.
I mean, but I guess because that nigga, he kind of initiated it to start. Like, if you watch the game, the first initial play of, like, physical contact that was like real over the top, it had to do with that.
Okay, I got you. Look. The sad part is 1 game, 2 games. That ain't. Dude, you gonna lose a game check. You probably lost $100,000 right there. You'll be all right. All of y'all will be all right.
And I think Beef Stew only I think he's still in his rookie contract, so he's probably right. It's like only like $100K. Ain't really no big money. Once you start reaching like Damian Lillard level, I mean, and you start that's like $500,000-$600,000 a game, $250K. That hurts.
Yeah, I think the NBA just trying to make a point, but I agree with you, man. It's like, look, You're gonna have scuffles like that in games.
Yeah.
It happens. But I don't like the. I got an ulterior motive tonight, y'all. I don't like the narrative that they try to say these players are weak. Man, these players are smart. They're not finna risk their money, their sponsorships. They're not finna risk the livelihood of their families, or they tricking money. Because, you know, a lot of them be tricking.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you on that. They be tricking on these IG models. But they not finna risk that shit just for what? For some pride? Because a lot of dudes lost a lot of shit they had in their life over some pride. And it's like, dude, for what? For what?
Rob corrected me. Beef Stew is on his second contract, actually. I thought he was on his rookie contract. So that means
Right.
Beef Stew, he might be losing upwards to $200K, $250, somewhere in that range.
When players be getting paid for these games. But here go, what we had next? What we had next, man? You know, they brawling out there. They brawling.
Yeah, that's a lot of bread, though. But Steph Curry, I know we kind of a couple weeks behind, but that's on me. It's my fault. Like I said, I got to get back up on my sports shit, especially with the NBA. But Steph, that man hit 4,000 threes as of recently. He's the first and only player to hit 4,000 threes. We already know he was leader all time in threes, but his 4K puts him in another stratosphere, kind of like Bron hitting 40. And that's what he usually compares. But just to give an even more recent update, I think it was either tonight or actually no, tonight. Steph hit 8 threes in the first half. I believe it was tonight. 8 threes in the first half is actually fucking ridiculous. But again, because it's Steph, people are just gonna overlook it because he's the greatest shooter ever. That's still a fucking ridiculous accomplishment. Good job, man. But 40K. So JBJ, I know how you feel about Steph, but where does this put this nigga in the all-time ranking? Obviously for point guard. I know that's a different level, but the reason why I say point guard specifically is because we're about to have to knock out Magic Johnson in a second.
Man, look, I be saying this, and look, people can call it bias. I will give this up. People can be calling it bias because I think we need to start calling out people bias. I have Steph right now number 2, but I see the argument for somebody putting him number 1. Because the only competition that he has for number 1 is Magic. I think the person that I put him in front of is Isaiah. But I'll leave that up for the people to bicker and bitch and complain about because I don't believe Magic changed the game the way Steph has. And I think that Steph was better than Isaiah. So if it came down to me, I would put him number 1. But I'll be realistic and put him number 2 just to give homage and respect to Magic Johnson. But truly, I believe he's number 1.
See, if we want to talk about point guards, cool. But it's crazy enough, I don't believe Steph is a fucking actual point guard personally. I mean, you know how people throw him the hybrid guard shit, the combo guard.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep throwing those two narratives around instead of just using the actual position that this nigga plays on a night-to-night basis, then I believe Stephen Curry is the third greatest shooting guard of all time. Because you got fucking Jordan, Bean, Steph. Then after that, then there's an argument for Harden and all that. But because we're talking about point guards, I personally, like you said, I think there's still a mountain to climb with Magic Johnson. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but this nigga, the MVPs, the regular season MVPs kind of pushed him over the top of Steph. I know Steph has the unbreakable record, but Magic Johnson is the base of what you want out of a point guard. I mean, he's the ultimate passer, he's a team first guy, and he can still give your ass 30.
Yeah, go ahead, my bad. Keep going.
I was saying, not saying Steph can't do the same thing, but the way Magic did it was just so, you know what I'm saying? It was so potent, you know what I'm saying? If it made sense.
I feel you on that. And look, it's not that's why I said, like, Magic is the one out of respect. I give him number 1 if I had to make a list. If it came to shooting guards, like shooting guard, put him in the shooting guard category, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean about this one. It's a conversation. It's a conversation between him and Kobe. If you put him in a 2 guard spot, there's a conversation to be had. I know a lot of people are diehard Kobe fans. I just covered somebody the other night that I swear, man, he'd dig this dude up out the grave and top him off if he could. That's what it seemed like. I know that'll piss a lot of them off if I say this shit, but like, it's a conversation for Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. It's a conversation. Magic Johnson, I can get the argument. I would still argue my Steph shit, but out of respect, I give it to Magic because we gotta all remember what team Magic went to. Who Magic came in the league playing with. Like, that Warriors team that was the Warriors, that team got built. that Lakers team was built. You brought the best player in the league to the teams, like, and you got Byron Scott and Worthy and all these other players on the teams. Like, man, that team was a stacked team already. It's kind of like when you know how we give Larry Bird a lot of props too.
Yeah.
I understand Larry Bird helped make the players around him as good as they were, but that team was already good.
Yeah, Bird and the Celtics. The Celtics were already the Celtics. They had fucking 11 chips before Bird got there. I mean,
Look, it was really two teams during that time when it was Magic and Bird, and it was the Lakers and it was the Celtics. Those were the two teams that were already good, and those players got drafted to put both of those teams. I ain't trying to take away from their legacy, but I'm not gonna say they went to a sorry team either.
no, they didn't go to a sorry team. But out of respect for them, I gotta throw the Sixers in there too.
Oh yeah, the Sixers. Oh yeah, hell yeah. We can't disregard that. I didn't say that because they didn't play for them. They didn't play for the motherfuckers.
I just thought about it because I'm like, shit. Since you started mentioning the teams that was stacked, I'm like, shit. That Mo Cheeks, motherfucking Jay Moses Malone, they wasn't no bitches.
Hell to the nine. And the Pistons squad, look, that was a team that got built. Isaiah and all them boys, man. Shit, a lot of people forget that Dennis Rodman played for the Bad Boy Pistons. They don't even remember that. They just think Dennis Rodman played for the Bulls. I'm like, nah, bro, he was on the Pistons too. That boy got chips on both squads.
That man has 5 chips. Like, where he came from.
But nah, look, if it came down to point guards, I would give him, look, I would argue for him to be number 2. If he came, like, put him in the shooting guard category because of the style of play he played, because he's more of an off-the-ball kind of guard. He can handle it and run the point if he needs to, but majority of the time, if you put him in his favorite position, he would play off. I can understand the 3 when it comes to shooting guard. I can understand it.
Yeah, that's just the way I feel about it. But moving on real quick, because I know JVJ got some shit for y'all. So last topic of the night, though, obviously me. I had a WTF for y'all, but I can damn it verbally tell y'all, but showing a little clip because that's just points. But Memphis Grizzlies, they fired their fucking head coach. It's kind of wild to think that they fired a head coach this late in the damn season. But let's roll the clip real quick, Jay, and I'll give you my opinion afterwards.
All right.
Grizzlies announced that they have parted ways with head coach Taylor Jenkins. Jenkins spent almost 6 years in Memphis and has the most wins in franchise history while at the helm. President and GM of basketball operations, Zach Lyman, had this to say about Jenkins, quote, "I'm genuinely appreciative of Taylor's contributions to this team and the city over the past 6 seasons. This was a difficult decision." The Grizzlies announced that they have...
My bad, I was a little slow behind. That didn't stop in time. But yeah, they fired Taylor Jenkins. Give me your thoughts.
You saw my hand waving at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit ass fucking comment behind after firing him. Because let's be real, you're in a bad spot as a franchise because of the players. You're not in a bad franchise. I mean, you're not in a bad spot because of the coach. We see too many franchises do this shit. We just saw the Bucks do this shit with Coach Bud. We saw the Phoenix Suns do the shit with Monty Williams.
Celtics.
The Celtics do the shit. But at the same time, the Celtics did the shit because of fucking controversy. And Brad Stevens, before him, he just moved up into like a GM spot. So I can but cannot count the Celtics because they just passed it along to the next coaching line type shit. I mean, they didn't fire a coach and bring in a whole nother nigga from a whole nother team for no reason.
I'm talking about that Ime situation. The only reason I said that is because they put it out there.
No, yeah, see, in that case, I don't think they wanted Ime as a coach anyway.
I don't think they did either.
So they just went to the next nigga up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Taylor Jenkins, in my opinion, this shit, I'm gonna have to lead towards Gilbert Arenas' direction because I did see him speak on it earlier today. I don't think
What did he say?
I don't think they wanted to pay Jaren. That's why they fucking fired Taylor Jenkins.
Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. If the man wins Defensive Player of the Year, he's up for a Supermax, which is for $300 million. John Morant already signed a $200 million already as is. You cannot pay, as a city of Memphis, Ja and Jaren. They're going to go bankrupt.
Small market team. Owner don't want to spend that money.
No, not at all. So, I mean, it's not that Jenkins is a bad coach. Jenkins is going to get a job somewhere else. Best believe he's going to do that because the Grizzlies, to be the most winningest fucking coach in history to have a 53 win percentage in 6 years, you shouldn't have got fired to begin with. So another team that genuinely needs a fucking coach to help lead young guys, Charlotte, go get him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Indiana, y'all falling apart. Go get them. I ain't trying to hear Uncanny right now with the bullshit joking there. SGA gonna win fucking MVP. I've seen it. He's trolling right now. I ain't trying to hear that. But Detroit, they doing good. So you really wouldn't push for another coach there. Houston's doing good. OKC, same way. A team that needs genuine coaching, Sacramento. Go pick that nigga up. You know what I'm saying? I bet any money between the next year, between not this year, next 2-3 seasons, that guaranteed have a better season. Well, we have a better year for sure. Because again, Taylor Jenkins ain't a bad coach. 53
Nah, he's not.
Come on now. And some of the teams that Memphis has had in the past 6 years has not deserved a 53 win percentage if you look at the roster. You would just look at it and be like, oh, yeah, they're going to be good this year. The year they went to almost the Western Conference Finals against LeBron.
Yep.
Motherfuckers wasn't expecting, you know what I'm saying, Memphis to go that far. They had expectations because Ja was doing staying that year, but as a whole, looking at that roster, just Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Ja, just them three, you wasn't expecting them three to make no true noise in the West against LeBron, Joker, fucking the Rockets going crazy. Anthony Edwards was coming out of his shell at the time. Nobody expected it. So Taylor James getting fired, that's just bullshit. And anybody else that has to say some shit like the GM or any other excuse they have for firing him, kiss ass. Y'all just making up a lot.
Yeah, man, that I agree with you, man. They seemed like a lot of politics. It's not about what he actually was producing and putting on the court. It was politics, because the only thing I would even respect or argument or take that I wouldn't really push back too hard on is maybe in the minds of the GM and everybody in their organization, the top heads, they felt like they just couldn't get any further with him. But it was a political move. It wasn't a talent or ability.
But feeling like you can't get nowhere else with him isn't his fault. Because
owner and GM might be standing in his way.
That's one. But the main thing is, for me, he's already exhibited the fact that he can get y'all from being nothing to being something. Memphis was relevant 7-8 years ago before they got him.
True. Nobody watched them.
Thank you. And then once they got Ja and then added him to their coaching staff and he became the head coach, they started making noise. Damn near every single year.
I agree. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. And see, Uncanny said they always fire coaches instead of throwing Cheddar Bob off the team. All right, now. Well, here we got Big Back for Life in the building, man. Sir, what it do? Let the people know what it is.
What's that, Rob?
What up, though? Hey, man, I'm just chilling. That's all. Big Back for Life. You know what I'm saying? Catch me over there on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Big Back for Life, you know. Doing my thing. Steady growing, man. You know, right now I'm taking a little pivot, so I'm just, you know what I'm saying, just thinking about my next move with the brand. So
makes sense.
But should give your thoughts on the Taylor Jenkins before we move on to the next video. What's your thoughts on them firing him?
That was shocking. I think this is becoming a new trend, you know, winning coaches getting fired. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy because the coaches, man, they put so much on the coaches, but they know that some of these coaches, a lot of these coaches don't have no control, you know, depending on, you know, the type of coach, you got a coach that stay there for a while, for a long time, but a lot of those coaches that stay there for a long time, you know, they have won before. And I think Memphis, I mean, they was playing great. I don't understand what's going on. I did see what Gilbert said about playing Jerry Jackson too many times. Honestly, I don't think that was the case at all. I really don't think that was the case at all. I mean, I don't know. you know, maybe it's something that we just don't know what's going on, you know. But I just refuse to believe because, you know, oh yeah, you're playing him too many times, you know, and that's more money that we have to pay. Okay, if you don't pay him, somebody else will. You know what I'm saying?
Look.
I mean, shit. I mean, he's still. We're not gonna act like Jerry Jackson. I mean, what is he considered a top 5 big man right now? I mean, I would think so at the top of my head. I mean, I'm not really sure, but top of my head, I mean, I would say he is. So if you're not gonna pay him, I'm pretty sure another team will pay him that $200 million, $300 million that he's looking for. You know, so I think it got to be something. I mean, I don't think nothing had to do with Ja, because from my understanding, him and Ja had a good relationship, you know, and Ja don't seem like the type of person that, you know, he don't seem that sensitive, you know what I'm saying, where he feel the need, you get this coach fired or whatever, nothing like that. But because I heard, I don't know how true, but I heard Giannis had something to do with old boy getting fired first, you know what I'm saying, the coach before Doc Rivers. No, but that could be a rumor. I'm not sure, but it's weird, bro. I mean, one thing about pro sports, I'm learning, it's never about the sport itself. So, you know, it's all boiled down to the business. So, you know, in your reputation, it could be a lot of reasons. You know,
I think about that point.
I say this: you don't really see this. You don't really see this much when it comes to white coaches. Especially you've been winning. So
look, to that point that you made, a lot of people need to remember when Michael Jordan retired for the last time, he retired because they fired Phil Jackson. The GM for the Bulls said, I don't care if this man wins another championship, he will not be the head coach next year. Mark Jackson got fired from the Warriors. The year before, they went on that run with Steve Kerr and won a chip. They were a team built for the future. They fired him. And it all comes down to relationships inside of that front office, whether the GM or the owner or somebody doesn't like what the coach is doing and they want to be think about it, even with the Cowboys. Look at the Cowboys. They won all them chips. What Jerry Jones did. Who he fired?
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson. What's his name? Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson. Fired Jimmy Johnson. So it's like, look, man, a lot of this shit comes down to politics. It's one thing when you fire a coach that is not doing well and the team can't seem to get over the hump. But when you see them firing coaches that have put your team in the best possible position that you've ever been in, especially in your organization's history, you got to think, man, look, politics got to be playing a part into this. And when it comes to Jaren Jackson Jr., it's like, look, dude, if y'all don't want to pay him, the owner don't want to spend.
Did JBJ freeze?
Yeah, he damn near did. I thought it was me for a second.
Yeah, because my shit be freezing. But no, I mean, till you come back. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, man. My shit just froze on.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
But no, I was done, man. Yeah, I said, like, if he didn't want to pay him that much money, man, just do a sign and trade like all other teams do. Don't fire the coach.
Yeah, but I think this is a situation where, you know what, Rob, I agree with you, what you said. Like, I don't think it's necessarily the money as to why are you paying the nigga too much. But I do think there was a disagreement between head coach, GM, or head coach, upper management / or it could have been players, whoever the fuck knows. But I don't think the players had a problem with the nigga, like you said, because Josh said he loved the nigga. So, I mean, it just had to, like, it's just weird ass sports politics. That shit shouldn't happen. I mean, I've said it, 90's owners are fucking terrible, but yeah, it seems like these niggas 2020 is crazy. Even worse. I mean, they just make.
I would agree. I would agree, man.
All around the board.
Man, look, it's hard for a lot of people to understand what a billionaire does with his money and how he wants to play with his organization, his little toy. That's why I tell them a lot of folks, they can't really relate to you, man. They operating in a different world. They got a different reality that they deal with. Their perspective's different than what we deal with. And to us, that don't make no sense. To him, honestly, I don't think the motherfucker give a fuck. I don't think they give a fuck, man.
No, you're probably looking at what can make his profit margin go up.
There you go. Yeah, and look, hey, maybe he ain't want to pay the coach some more money, man. Look, that could be something that I don't think they talked about. Look, the coach could be up for a new deal. Like, let me get him up out of here. I feel like he ain't really that important. I can get somebody else to come in and sustain this, and now that I got the player, so ain't no telling.
And he could be tired. It could have been a coach tired of owners. Maybe he said something to owners that, man, I'm just sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be an assistant coach somewhere else dealing with this bullshit. So it could have been something like that. He probably said something.
No.
That's what got Mark Jackson fired. They said he wasn't likable. Well, I don't give a fuck what you like about him. That motherfucker win games. What you trying to do? Win games and have your feelings feel good. You can leave his ass alone. You ain't got to talk to him.
Okay.
Walk your ass on somewhere. He coming down the hallway. Go down the other hallway, motherfucker. You ain't got to deal with him as long as he doing his job and fulfilling his contract, putting the team in the best possible position. Man, go on about your business. But a lot of folks get fired and hired off of people's feelings, and people need to really understand that.
That's why I kind of respect, like, even though a lot of people hate George Karl, I respect any player that has outlasted their contract with George Karl. You know what I'm saying? Or at least tried his system for a long period of time. Because at the end of the day, they understood that even though he was a bitch-ass person, that he was actually going to help you win. So fuck what you do behind closed doors. You know your winning percentage is going to go up. And you know at some point you have an opportunity to win. Which his personality was so fucked up that he couldn't help nobody in any way, shape, or form, even if he was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a mix of things that could possibly get a nigga fired or fuck a team up overall.
It ain't never no telling. But y'all ready to transition to why I'm done with the 90s?
Yeah, go ahead. I give you WTF and some other thing. Go ahead. We on sports shit right now.
All right, well, check it, y'all. I'm gonna start out with the first short that I ran across. The dude titled it "Dreamers Pro and Shannon Sharp are reaching." Now, LeBron put out a quote a little while ago, and it seems like I'm on a defend LeBron tour right now. But he put out a quote, and this gentleman just put it up here for you real quick. Like, check it out.
Play the clip.
That he's gonna go on. He appreciates everything the Heat organization did for him, but he essentially believes that even if he didn't go to Miami, he would end up still being the player that he.
All right, stop. I heard enough. So here's my problem. Like Shannon Sharp and Dreamers Pro is knowing one thing, and that one thing is, pull the quote up. He said individually he would be the same player, which is that crazy to say?
And look, I want to pause that quote real quick. Like, this LeBron speaking on his tenure in Miami, he said, "But as far as my career was going to be my career as far as individually, because I know how much I put into the game, and I know how much I've strived to be as great as I can be. But as far as what I was able to learn here was second to none. That's for sure." That's his thoughts on it. But I'm gonna let everybody finish out his thoughts. But I just want y'all to make sure y'all read that, because
individually that he would be the same player. He was already a 2-time MVP. You mean to tell me a 2-time MVP can't grow? Like you don't think he could have got better as a player at such a young age? He was under 30. He was a 2-time MVP, already still under 30.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me he couldn't get better?
Facts.
So y'all give me y'all thoughts on that. I just saw that a second ago before we got ready to come on to the show, and I'm like, I already got a war in my mind whether he know it or not against Dreamers Pro. Every time that nigga say something stupid, I'm going at him.
Well, I missed what's the disagreement at? I missed that part.
He was trying to call him out. Like, if I go to a Dreamers Pro video, he pretty much, he's been on a hate LeBron tour because people are saying that LeBron's better than Kobe.
The guy, what's his name? Dreaming Tour?
No, Dreamers Pro.
Dreamers Pro. That's the dude at the bottom, or was that the dude at the top?
That was the dude at the top.
Okay, go ahead, finish. So wait.
Like, he just been on a LeBron hating tour lately. I did a whole video on him last night.
Okay, I need to check that then. But okay, but just tell me, like, because what he showed me, I mean, I didn't get much, like, where's the disagreement at? Like, Did he
It's
say
just a-
did he say he wouldn't get better individually, or
pretty much the stance that a lot of people are making is that LeBron's shitting on Miami, and if he didn't go to Miami, he wouldn't have anything. He wouldn't be the player that he is today if he didn't go to Miami. And it's like LeBron said, look, he was going to be the player that he was going to be regardless, individually. But going to Miami, he wouldn't trade that for anything. He literally said that in the quote, but they keep disregarding it, and I don't know. They just dude, anything LeBron say, they're gonna try to find some way to try to get at him.
yeah.
And that's what he was pretty much sitting over here arguing about. He's like, man, what are you talking about, man? Like, the dude gave props to Miami. He said it's second to none. Second to none. That means it's number one. But he would have still been the player individually that he was.
Yeah, individually, I mean, shit, ain't no telling if he could have been better if he went to a different team.
Let's see, Uncanny said LeBron would have never won a ring if he never left.
That's what made me like scratch my head.
No, I'm sorry, but why do we say that shit though, bro? Like we don't know that. They said Kobe wasn't gonna win another ring after Shaq. Y'all gotta be careful and say what people would and never do, bro, because we don't know that shit, bro. Like that's why you can't have argument about this LeBron Jordan shit, bro. A lot of you niggas, all y'all want to talk about. I'm not trying to go at you, Uncanny, but you trigger something because I hear this a lot from other people. But a lot of these niggas, only argument they can have is talk about, well, Jordan would have done this, or LeBron, you know what I'm saying, he would have achieved this without such and such. Or well, Jordan got these many rings. Bro, your argument is not fucking valid.
It's not really.
If we go by just straight, this is like we talk basketball, just go by straight fucking talent. Overall talent.
I'll tell you this, Rob.
I think I would love to say Kobe Bryant is the best basketball player ever, bro. Because that's my favorite player. But if we're talking about realistic, like I cannot give Kobe that. Even though how bad I want to. With overall talent. No, how you treat your players, how you make your players better. You know what I'm saying? So it's levels, bro. All I gotta say, 50,000 points. The fuck?
Can't take it away from them. They diminish the one thing about LeBron is like, and we're gonna look back at it, especially with all these analysts that might lose their jobs when he retire.
Mike, they're going.
Yeah, it's like everything he's done since he's been in the league, they've been trying to diminish. They saw something in him when he was in high school, and it threatened their Lord and their Savior when it comes to basketball. They felt threatened. So ever since this kid's been in the league, now he's a grown ass man with kids that's in the league, with a kid that's in the league. They just try to diminish all his accomplishments. And I'm like, dude, we got to step back and really look at this shit like for what it really is, bro. This is a psyop being done on this man. It's a narrative trying to get painted around him. And a lot of folks, go ahead.
I wonder if they did this same thing to Jordan when they considered Dr. J the GOAT. Or if they did this same thing to Magic when Dr. J was considered the GOAT. Or they did this shit to Dr. J when they considered Bill Russell the GOAT type shit.
Hey, look, Jordan had his for a while. But when Larry Bird them vouched for him, they gave up on the narrative that Jordan couldn't win. Once he won his first championship, his narrative went away.
See, no, and that's my question. So after he like you said, after he got his first ring and went away, what about the other niggas before them? Like, did Magic get the same scrutiny? Like, I mean, they called him Tragic Johnson after he won his first ring, but he already had a ring by that point. So what did they do to Bird? Or what did they do to Kareem when he didn't win his first ring? Or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was these niggas still...
I should have had you around. I should have had you around for the video when I actually pulled it up. Because I was trying to make a point when it came to LeBron about like everybody acts like all these other players were clean and like they were peachy clean and nobody ever said anything bad about him. He went through Magic, he went through Wilt, he went through because they said Wilt couldn't win. They said Wilt couldn't win in big games, he would fail. They like all the narratives that they said about these players, he showed all of them.
You know, I was there for part of that video. We didn't get through the whole clip.
Yeah, we didn't finish it all the way out.
But no, yeah, I agree with you. But I just wanted to know that because obviously I'm younger than all y'all, and I wanted to know about, you know what I'm saying, just the media back then. Because like if y'all wasn't giving the same scrutiny or the same energy to these other people as they was coming up trying to get into this GOAT debate, why are y'all shitting on Bron so fucking heavy? Is it because he's actually the one that can actually dethrone everybody else that you claim, or is it just like what is it? Or is this just like a historic thing?
Like it's a gatekeeping. It's the same thing. It's comparable to what I was telling some dumbass nigga the other night over on Black Man Unfiltered channel. If you control a game, you control any game that we're playing, and I have a percentage, a small percentage of it, you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure I don't take your position. Like, if I run a company and you compete with my company, I own 98% of the market, you own 2%. I'm gonna do everything in my power to take your 2% before I let you take any of my 98. And for some people, Jordan is that 98%. They don't want LeBron that 2% to take that away from them. They gatekeep. There's a lot of people that gatekeep around here. They do it in sports. They do it in politics. They do that shit in finances. They do it in society as a whole. And people, I swear, I think a lot of people just think on one fucking level. They see the initial part. That's why you see somebody can win, somebody that's really good at chess compared to somebody that's really good at checkers. Checkers, you good at making the first move. And then you'll think about it after that. The motherfucker playing chess is already fucking 5 moves ahead of you. He thinking about what's gonna happen afterwards. It's like playing pool. You don't shoot the ball that's next up. You thinking about how you can shoot that ball to come off the rail to line up for the next shot. And the next shot, and the next shot, and the next shot. But they know what they doing right here, man. That's why LeBron, he was thinking ahead when it came to the whole shit about his son. He was thinking ahead. He was thinking 10 steps ahead. I already know this narrative. I already know what you're doing because you did it to me. You're not going to do it to my son.
That's true. And
so I'm like,
narrative behind his son is unfair as fuck. I mean, that nigga averaging like 30 something in the fucking league.
Shit just crazy. But we got to keep pushing. Could LeBron play in the 90s, y'all?
Absolutely.
What kind of question is that?
All right. Remember, somebody always liked him. They never disliked him. But they don't think he could have played in the 90s. Listen to it.
Could you think LeBron could have survived in the Kobe Jordan era?
Survive, yes. Prosper, I'm not so sure. Allow me to explain. You got to talk about competition. So when we talking about competition, then it has to be something along the lines of what would have happened had you gone against those people. Michael Jordan is 6-0 in NBA Finals Series. Yeah, LeBron's an ultra talent, and MJ was a 6'9", 260. But my retort is, well, LeBron is 6'9", 260, and still lost 6 NBA Finals. You ain't have Boston with Bird, McHale, Parrish. You ain't have Isaiah, Dumas, Vinny the Microwave coming off the bench. LeBron had Indiana with Paul George, Toronto with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Much respect to both. And I'm telling you, I believe because of what I saw from LeBron in the fourth quarters, that series against the Dallas Mavericks, that Michael Jordan would have never allowed him to find out what it was to win.
See, okay, so look, bro. You want to see people, I hate when people do this, bro, because they want to look now and think about those teams, that Indiana team. Man, that Indiana team was a tough team. I think, well, shit, they was like, what, number 1 on the second seed? You know what I'm saying? And I think this is what people think about Paul George, but that was a year, man. Paul George was coming out. He just started coming out of his own. Then a Roy Hibbert. Then you got a David West. Then Danny Granger. That team was tough. Then you want to talk about that Toronto team? Niggas, Like niggas didn't stop acting like these wasn't no okie dork team. These niggas was high seeded teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is what makes LeBron so great. It make people overlook these other teams. That's how great he is.
Hey, quick question.
So it seems like, oh, he only played Toronto. He only played what the team I just said? Goddamn. Dang, what other team I just said? Indiana. Yeah, it's he's that great. He make people like us overlook them niggas. Ain't that some shit?
Quick question. Did Bron ever lose to Indiana? That Paul George Indiana team in the playoffs?
No.
Did he ever lose to the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs?
No. So no, he's saying is that the competition level. So
yeah, but think about
she's basically saying that Toronto team and the Indiana team, they can't even touch the Boston with that team.
I got a question. Which one do y'all think is easier?
He didn't say Golden State.
Which one do y'all think is easier to guard? A team where all 5 players can't be guarded, or just 3 of the 5 can't be guarded?
That's 3 of the 5.
That's the easier one to guard, right?
Yeah, easier one to guard.
So why the fuck are we acting like in the 90s that there were not players that at certain points of the game you literally cannot have them in the game, but they are your starters? If you need a 3, God rest his soul, would you put Anthony Mason in the game for the Knicks?
Nope.
But check this out, bro. We ain't gotta talk about Jordan because I know we have our differences when it comes to Phil Jackson. But nigga, I would like to ask is this. Nigga, you think Jordan would have won with Doug Collins? Can he beat the Indiana team? Can he beat that Toronto team? Can he beat Golden State with a Doug Collins as his coach, nigga? Cause guess what? The same shit niggas give shit LeBron about is the same shit Jordan had to do to win a fucking championship.
Actually, Rob, I'll give you a better question.
The fuck is you niggas talking
you
about?
You can give Mike Phil Jackson. Have Phil. But do you think that nigga would have beat the 2007 Pistons the way LeBron did by himself?
No.
No.
Ask him. Do you think
I remember that day like it was yesterday, nigga. Game 6 to this day. To this day. That game 6 performance by LeBron. That game 6 performance by LeBron. It's the greatest fucking playoff game I ever seen. Because you gotta think, as a young kid, you gotta think we was the favorites. We just beat them a year before, like in the second round. And we at home, bro. And every time we thought we could make a run, this nigga, this is when I was like, oh my gosh. At this time, he was a little nigga. This little nigga is different. This nigga, I think this nigga had 23 fourth quarter points, some shit like. Nigga, I couldn't believe this shit, bro. I was stunned.
23 straight.
I was like, we're gonna lose, bro. We losing this. We losing this bitch. It's over.
He scored every point in overtime.
He's playing like this. It's over.
Remember the narrative about him. LeBron's not no closer. He ain't got that dog in him. He all this. But all these games that's on his record to show that is a complete fucking lie. But
I got a question. I know Bron got put out in the Eastern Conference by, ironically, the Celtics. Do you think Jordan, with that same roster that Bron had, would have beat that same Boston Celtics team that went on to win the championship?
No,
they probably would have swept them.
Bro, they wouldn't have made it that far.
Nah, they probably would have made it that far because the first round they played Gilbert and the Wizards. And this ain't
they could have beat them.
No, nigga, fuck that. I don't believe that shit because Gilbert was a scoring machine, nigga.
I mean, he was, yeah, but I mean,
the rest of the team was trash.
Gilbert was averaging fucking. Nah, wait, hold on, wait.
I'm just saying, I'm just comparing the greats that could push somebody through. Obviously, they not trash. Let me take that back.
As we talk about as a team perspective, I ain't gonna lie. The Wizards had Gilbert. They had Caron Butler. They had Antoine Jameson.
Hayward.
They had some guys on that team.
Bro.
Don't get me wrong. But
he has niggas to match up. Antoine can match up with Scotty, nigga. My thing is, look, I'm not even saying he couldn't beat him. I'm not sure because nigga Gilbert was that nigga. Gilbert was busting Kobe ass. You think he won't bust Jordan ass? And Jordan is an overrated defender. Kobe's a better defender than Jordan. LeBron is a better defender than Jordan.
You gonna have them coming. You gonna have the pitchforks coming out for you, Rob.
If you look at the tape, man, Jordan was not playing defense 100% like he played offense. Kobe did 100% both sides. LeBron played defense 100% both sides, nigga.
I ain't gonna knock it. Hey, look, we got to keep pushing. So, look, Stephen A. said what he said again. Remember, this is the guy that ain't never said nothing bad about LeBron, but you know that's a slight. Could he survive in the 90s? Yeah. Prosper? I don't know too much about that. Like, dude, that's this shit. That's how bitches talk. They won't say it directly. They'll say it innuendo. So I already knew how that went. Like, but we had somebody else from the 90s that wanted to say something about just about some things about some of these players. So let's see.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, everybody in our league, 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back. Then if you shot that, it had to go in. You know why? We had efficiency back in the day, my dude, and it was so hard. It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago. The locker room was too grown. You can't be on your phone in the locker room. It was very different back then, bro. And they ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game.
okay,
I just want to say this. Well, go ahead and say yours first.
This is my problem. This is my problem with niggas like that to talk like that. Niggas act like niggas just some bitch ass niggas, bro. Like, just because a nigga play a sermon doesn't mean that nigga a bitch ass nigga. Like, you talking about, oh, you can't be on your phone. Like, what you mean? First of all, y'all niggas even have phones. Your fucking locker rooms, nigga. If you did, you nigga had a flip phone, nigga. What the fuck are we talking about? You ain't had shit to. You from a time where only time you go on your phone, you call somebody, nigga. You trying to compare, you could be on your phone. Of course, nigga. What the fuck I'm gonna do on my phone in the 90s? Like, what the fuck? Like, nigga.
All you can do is dial a number. Most of them niggas had a pager.
Let me see if my numbers change. The fuck, bro? Like, this is like you can't talk to niggas. The niggas take it personal. It's like that's a personal thing that KG said. I'm kind of disappointed in KG.
Oh man!
Remember, he didn't say no players' names, but he said a lot of these cats in the league right now. There's a lot of people still in the league. Like, there's a lot of people in the league right now that was in the league when you was playing, dummy.
What are you talking about, bro?
I'll say one name. He said Dwayne Wade broke Kobe's nose in the All-Star game. Who else was drafted in that same draft with Dwayne Wade? Who was the number 1 overall pick?
Bron.
Is he still playing in the league right now?
I mean, Melo just retired not too long ago.
And like, I know where the shot was aimed at. But I'm like, look, man, a lot of these players could play in that time, and he trying to act like all that, like during that time was just so tough. I'm gonna show a video real quick, but go ahead, CJ. I'm gonna show a real quick clip before we get to the last video, because KG need to learn how to shut the fuck up.
Before you go, CJ, let me say this one quick thing. I would like to ask, the problem is these old niggas talking about, they couldn't play back in my day. The question is, nigga, can y'all play in this day and age? Because guess what? I'd say this all the time. The reason why the NBA players play like they play, because guess what? There are so many rules in this game now where, you know what, they had to find ways to adjust. All right? How can we get our offense? Because they're not calling nothing. You know what I'm saying? You get too physical. I mean, I'm sorry. If you get too physical, they're going to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be in a defensive favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they have to adjust to the game. My problem is, will you old niggas adjust to this game? Because you can't act tough. They're going to take the toughness away. You know what I'm saying? The fake fights that you want to do, you can't do that. You know, you ain't. It's gonna be hard for you to out rebound niggas. Niggas 7 feet tops. Maybe Robin could. I think Robin is the only person that could.
You got to play defense. They got to play the game the way the way the game was written. You got to play within the rules. You can't just go out there because you can't guard a motherfucker and just smack him in the head and call that some hard defense. That ain't no hard defense. You couldn't guard, nigga.
Couldn't guard. You nigga was just hacking ass, fouling ass.
Yeah, fouling ass motherfuckers. And we know that type because we all done play street ball. That one dude that can't guard you, so every time you get past him, he just foul you.
Nigga,
every time.
Nigga, I get heat from old niggas now because I said my the 03 Pistons is better than the Bad Boys Pistons because nigga, we actually play defense. We actually we play real basketball. I said, y'all, hey, that bullshit y'all talking about, hey, we dominated Jordan, that's cap. You know? One game y'all won because y'all gave Scottie Pippen a fucking migraine.
Beat his ass so bad.
That's right. You know, hey, you get a real coach to come in, Phil Jackson, you're like, all right, this is what we're going to do with these niggas. You niggas going to act tough. We're going to just move the ball around, get to our spots. All right, we're going to make these niggas work.
Man, they was already aging out anyways. That's when a lot of people forget that. That's when Jordan started winning all his shit. And all his competition started aging out the fucking league. Like, it wasn't that he beat them in their prime, because during their prime, they was whooping his ass.
Had a coach that out-coached the coach. You couldn't outplay. If we can't out-physical, I'm going to out-coach these niggas. Fuck you. So go ahead, CJ.
No, you took actually what I was going to say about the air switching shit for real.
So here, check it. I'm gonna show this tough guy real quick, KG, before we get to the main video, because he's so tough and he talking all that shit in his video. Like, KG, we do remember this. You know this shit's on the internet, right?
Listen, I was in the trap with that big guy. I'm a big dog, you just a little cat. I pull up with no roof where the ceiling at. I take your top off where you're ceiling at. I was in the trap with that big guy. I'm a big dog, you just a little cat. I pull up with no roof where the ceiling at.
Why'd you run up on him since it's so tough in the 90s? Like, it was so tough in the 90s, your ass wasn't doing nothing. Nigga elbowed you in your face in the middle of the game in front of all them cameras. What you do? Jumped up and down twice and just stood there? What you talking about?
That's for sure in the 2000s, though.
Yeah, it's in the 2000s. That's what I'm saying. Like, when he's saying his shit, he need to really...
Yeah.
It don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense because he's trying to say the 90s was better, the 2000s wasn't this, the 2010s, because he got out in the 2010s. It's like, nigga, we remember you playing during that time, right? Like, I said it. Him, Paul Pierce, and Doc Rivers. They the only three motherfuckers I ever seen ride off of one fucking chip. They milked that chip for everything it's ever been milked for. Because, look, dude, I get that y'all were good. I get that y'all won. But y'all never are brought up in the greatest of nothing when it comes to the winners. Because, you know, you get the winner circle. So, yeah, you got to the winner circle. But in this circle of winners, bitch, they don't even mention you. But they the biggest talking motherfuckers. One chip, I ain't never seen a group of people milk one chip. At least I got respect for Rondo.
He got two.
Rondo got his shit, and he don't even bring that shit up. You don't hear from Rondo. He mind his motherfucking business. KG, Paul Pierce, shit, Doc keep stealing jobs from people that like, dude, I just don't understand, bro. I just don't understand.
You think about it though. Rondo was the main one that brought that shit together for real.
I truly believe that. Now, some people will argue me down and say it was Ray Allen, but I truly believe the glue, the key to actually why that team was good as fuck was Rondo. I watched this man bend his arm back like a paper clip during the game, go to the sideline to the locker room, get it bandaged up, his elbow, bent that bitch back, come back in and drop 45 with his offhand. Almost a triple-double. I watched that boy. I'm like, dude, out of everybody on that team, dude, that was the one dude that I couldn't stand his ass because I respected his game so much. I knew he was the threat. Everybody talking about he couldn't shoot. That motherfucker showed you with a broke fucking arm, he could shoot.
But you gotta think, he was so young when that team got put together. So as a point guard at that time, he had to really, he gotta think, he got egos and he got to put shit together. So, you know what I'm saying? Without him, bro,
And
they don't win shit.
yeah, he didn't get no leeway. Look, with him, he had no leeway on that team. It was always KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. They came first before anything. Rondo had to play his role, kind of like a Mario Chalmers when he was with the Heat. He had to just play your role. You got LeBron, you got Wade, you got Chris Bosh. You can't be going out here doing that, nigga, like you want to. But the sad part is Rondo, when he got the opportunity to show it, he showed that he actually could.
Yeah. Rondo, I think shit that year he was leading assists for a while. Shit.
Yeah, that dude, he was up there every year. I used to watch that shit. Him, Chris Paul,
I think
Darren Williams.
I think Rondo led the league in assists probably like 3-4 times.
But it wasn't no bullshit. Man, check it. Y'all ready to get to the main video?
Yeah.
Cause this shit right here, man. Look, I'm bringing back something a little bit older, but I don't give a fuck. I think it's relevant right now, especially with a lot of motherfuckers talking. They got a problem with LeBron talking, but they've been talking for a long time. They've been talking for a long time, discrediting these young players, discrediting the new league and shit. Like these players ain't skilled and ain't strong. So shout out to Jimmy High Roller. Actually, is this Jimmy? Is it Jimmy? Yeah, this is Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy High Roller, man. Cause I think we might be done with the 90s, y'all.
Order. We done with the 90s. 5 simple words that have completely divided fans of the NBA. I've seen well thought out video essays, hard-hitting analysis, testimonies from past and present players talking about their experience in the league and how it's changed over the years. And none of those things managed to do what these 5 simple words have done in just a week. Soon enough, the clips came rolling in of players from that era dribbling off their feet, throwing up air balls, and putting together moves that you might see at your local high school's JV game. So, for whatever it's worth, here is my long-winded take on this whole discussion. I want to begin by saying what this discourse has taught me more than anything else is that NBA fans today never actually took the time to go back and watch games of the past. Brothers, I have been harping on this for years, begging for fans of the game, whether you are new or have been watching for years, to just go back and watch full games. Not highlights, not clips, full-length games of eras from the past. And after seeing this discussion devolve into where it is today, it is clear to me that most people never take the time. I'm seeing countless fans have this sort of awakening as they're watching films of these old games, as if the footage was buried or lost, and it's finally being unearthed for the world to see. It's been right here on YouTube for the past 15 years. You mean to tell me the same fans who chime in with a full-blown thesis on the GOAT debate never spared the time to even watch the games they were referring to? I guess that does explain a lot. Now, I'd like to think I'm somewhere in the middle on this whole discussion. I have said on multiple occasions that players in today's NBA are simply more skilled than players of the past, which has resulted in bigger stat lines and higher point totals than ever before. It's not the defense that has gotten worse, it's the offense that has gotten better. You know, that whole spiel. But I also have an appreciation for the greats that came before and how incredible some players of past eras were. In fact, I almost feel like I'm hallucinating seeing this 90s basketball slander campaign unfold in front of my eyes. It feels like everyone's perception on the age-old debate changed literally overnight. I know that's not the case, but after seeing all of this play out, it sure feels that way. But today, I'm not just going to show you some cherry-picked clips or unhinge this narrative even further. I'm going to show you real film, real data, and proof of how we might actually be done with the 80s and 90s. And, of course, if Michael Jordan really had no left hand. Spoiler, he did. Now, I have been an advocate for the modern players are better than players of the past movement for quite some time now. In fact, as crazy as it is for younger fans to say Michael Jordan was trash, it's just as absurd for older fans to say the game hasn't evolved and gotten better over the last 30 years. Because that's all this debate really is. Young fans versus old fans, or fans that watched this versus fans that are watching this. But objectively, players today are much better than they were in the 80s and even the 90s. Specifically, the lower end of the talent pool in the NBA today is vastly better than it was in the past. I think great players would be great in any era, but with the spacing, the shot making, the emphasis on offense as opposed to defense has made the depth across the NBA today just way ahead of where it was in the 80s and the 90s. There was, without exaggeration, guys in the NBA throughout the 80s and 90s that were on NBA rosters just to accumulate fouls and sit in the paint and be big. Some of these players were offensively inept, and that was okay because their role was not to create offense. But in today's NBA, where offense reigns supreme, there is no room for these players. Now, you could and should go back and watch film of games, not highlights, from this era and see just how limited the skill sets of some of these players were. The shot making, for the most part, was limited to set jumpers, slashers coming downhill for layups, and big men trying to muscle their way to a bucket down low in the midst of what appears to be a wrestling match. Catch a player off guard with a double team, and they immediately pick up their dribble. Simple things like guard guards turning their back to the basket 20 feet out instead of creating space off the dribble. Even players looking down at the ball while trying to get out on a fast break was very common in this era. And these aren't lowlights or cherry-picked incidences. This is just what the game looked like 35 years ago. But even without film, nearly every metric suggests modern players are more capable of players in the past. Free throw percentage was worse, three-point percentage was worse, turnover percentage was higher. They used to shoot more free throws, but still ended up with far less points. Now, this is not to say that this era of hoops was trash. That's just disingenuous.
Now, I want everybody to really think about that. Free throw percentage was down. Yeah. 3-point percentage was down. Turnovers were, and they shot more free throws. He just giving a breakdown for all the people that mythicize or glorify, want to put this shit up on a pedestal. When we say these players are more talented, they're better players right now. Like, just stop it. They play different. Like, it's not the same game. First off, we got to do that. It's not the same game. The game they played back in the day is not the game they play now. You used to be able to be on a team just to foul a motherfucker. Hey, man, he big, he strong. Yeah, he look like he could take a punch, man. Look, we're going to bring you in the game. When this motherfucker start going off, why don't you just go foul him? You got 5 fouls on him. Foul the shit out of him as hard as you can every time. Try to hurt him. Them players can't make no roster no more. You got to be able to do something to be on a team outside of just fouling niggas. Think about it. People used to have a contract just for that. Just to be an enforcer. That don't even make no sense. But like, I'm going to let him keep cooking. Did you have anything real quick like before you keep cooking?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Ingenuous and flat out wrong. These were the best players in the world at the time. It was just simply not as good as what it is today. But maybe there's another layer to this that needs to be factored in to really understand why these players were not as skilled as the players of today. Now, despite this being a very relevant topic for years, the idea of rule changes and how these changes have affected the game still remain a mystery to some. Players were a product of their era and the rules of their era. The first step to discovering greats of the past is to watch film of them play. The next step is to gather and understand the context of the film you are watching. When you see a 6'9" Magic Johnson go flying down the court with what looks like kind of a stiff dribble, you may think the man has no bag. But my friends, Magic Johnson did have a bag, but the rules in place at the time only allowed him to reach so far into it before he got called for every violation in the rulebook. Consider the fact that any move where your hand wasn't completely on top of the basketball was considered a carry. No 0 steps, no gather steps. You get 2 steps, and anything more was called a travel. No backward shuffles to create separation. No lunging into players to draw easy fouls. Here's a clip of Danny Ainge hitting Kevin McHale with a hezzy in the mid-'80s. And the man thinks he just witnessed witchcraft.
But when practice sessions were completed, some of the most competitive competition began.
Double dribble! Double dribble! He needs to.
Here's some more clips of players getting called for travels and carries, doing moves that are very typical and allowed in 2024. 90% of the moves you see today, the very method most players generate their offense, would be called for some sort of violation 40 or 30 or even 20 years ago. And this isn't just some cop-out or excuse as to why these players of the past weren't doing this stuff. The rule changes are real, documented pieces of NBA history. You can literally look them up. The game got looser, players grew up and shaped their game around these looser rules, and now they have free reign to let their basketball bag run wild. But that's kind of the point. Players of the past didn't grow up practicing 25-footers. They didn't work on a dozen moves to create separation. They played in offensive systems that focused on the team, the collective, schemes and sets that resembled something closer to college basketball, where ISO possessions were few and far in between, so they never developed an arsenal to counter these situations. The rules of the time limited their game, which resulted in them having a more limited skill set than players today. If Larry Bird grew up with a three-point line, he might have been the greatest long-range shooter ever. But he didn't. And as a result, he didn't shoot a lot of threes and he wasn't as efficient as the best shooters today. We can sit here and assume these players of the past might be as capable as players today if they were playing under the same rules and conditions. But they didn't. And I don't think we should assume that. The fact is they played in a different time and they became a product of that time. But that's not to say the game was trash back then, or that the superstars of these eras couldn't compete in today's league. Now, as time goes by, I think it's easy to forget just how long ago 1980 was. 44 years ago, if my math is correct, which is in fact a very long time ago. In 1985, Magic Johnson won an NBA title, Larry Bird won the league MVP, and Michael Jordan won Rookie of the Year. That was 39 years ago from today, which is the same exact amount of time that has passed from that 1985 season to the year the NBA was founded in 1946. Look at these clips. Do you think these players could compete with the likes of Bird, Magic, and Jordan? Let me answer that for you. No. But take the best players of the 80s and 90s, and could they compete in today's league? Absolutely. Give these guys some credit. Watching this today is the equivalent of watching this in the 80s. And yet this product is vastly closer to the basketball we see today than this product was to what fans were witnessing in the 80s. In fact, we can use different superstars as sort of a cross-generational measuring stick to see just how stiff the competition has been over the years. Larry and Magic played Michael, who played Kobe, who played LeBron, who has played the players of today. And nowhere down this timeline was there any real jump or fall off in production or level of competition from one era to the next. Each era had their stars. Those stars crossed paths with stars of other eras, and no one era was clear-cut ahead of the other. If the 80s were so bad, then why did players of the 90s have to wait for those guys to get old and retire to have a shot at winning? And if the 90s were so bad, then why did players of the 2000s not win until those guys retired? We don't need to assume that adjacent eras could compete with one another because we actually saw it. MJ struggled with some of the guys that came before him. Shaq struggled against Hakeem, and Kobe struggled against MJ. LeBron struggled against guys like Duncan and Dirk. And players of today have struggled to get past some of the older players in the league who are a product of the previous era. Now, what we shouldn't do is jump 3 or 4 eras at a time, ignoring entire decades of evolution and saying the game back then was better or even as good as it is today. At a certain point, the knowledge and wisdom that comes from actually witnessing decades of NBA history, like some older fans have, becomes skewed and watered down by nostalgia and a generational bias. Superstars are superstars because their game transcends the era they played in, but they also played in an inferior league. These two ideas are not mutually exclusive, and although generational talents of the past would do just fine today, this same logic does not apply to the vast majority of the league throughout the 80s and 90s. So if the 80s were inferior to today's league and the 90s were inferior as well, when did the NBA become not trash? Well, it depends on how you look at it. Ironically, I think there's a pretty clear distinction to the skill set of players before Michael Jordan hit his peak and after. For example, the early 90s and late 90s, although being in the same decade, were massively different in play style and skill set. Think for a second about the fact that Magic Johnson was still in his prime in the early 90s and Allen Iverson was entering his prime in the late 90s. In less than 10 years, basketball became a massively different game. By the late 90s, the players who grew up watching Jordan fly through the air and slice up defenses were in the league and were reshaping the role that perimeter players played. Guys like Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Stephon Marbury, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. All these guys came into the league around the same time and were products of what they saw MJ do throughout his career. Players with a skill set that more closely resembles what we see today than it did to the skill sets of players of the 80s and even early 90s. This is where I think most fans might make the distinction of when the league really took a leap, not in competitiveness, but rather play style. You can go back and watch these guys play, and it's not too different than watching an NBA game today. Or you can point to the shift in play style that happened in the late 2010s, after Steph Curry redefined what makes a great championship caliber player, and the league adjusted to this new three-point heavy, perimeter-focused style of basketball. Similar to Jordan, the kids who watched what Steph was doing in the mid-2010s emulated that style of play, tailored their games to it, and are now in the league doing things that only Steph could do a decade ago. So if we're done with the 80s and 90s, where can we look back and no longer apply this era tax on these players? I think most fans would agree that the turn of the century is where the modern era of hyper-skilled players began. You can say objectively that this era was not trash, and most players of this generation would do just fine in today's league. But if that is the case, then modern NBA fans are holding a ticking time bomb, and they might not even know it. When we are older and a new generation of NBA fans claim our favorite players, the guys we grew up watching, are not as good as the players of the future, what will you have to say? Right now, there is no one in the world who can shoot like Steph Curry. But inevitably, there will be. And eventually, there will be many players who can shoot like him. His records will fall, his percentages won't look as good through the lens of 2040, and although his legacy will be cemented, his actual game will be put into question. And based on the arguments I'm hearing today on why past players were trash, we will have nothing to say that will change their minds. We know that Curry was the first to do what he's doing. He is a pioneer of the modern NBA. We have context to back up our claims. But if we aren't willing to hear older fans out today, what makes us think younger fans will hear us out in the future? Mark my words. There will be a day when young fans will go back, watch film of LeBron, and say he couldn't compete with players of the future. In fact, it's already happening. Fans saying he has no bag. Younger players putting up bigger numbers than he ever did. Skill sets a bit deeper with games that look more polished. It's all fun and games now to crack jokes about past eras. But our day will come too, and it ain't gonna be pretty. But Giannis could only run and dunk. Your era was trash. Y'all had a dude who couldn't get 2 feet off the ground running the whole league. You can scramble to pull up clips and show the numbers, but their minds will already be made up. This is why I think it is so important to have genuine, thought-out discourse about the game if you're truly a fan of it. But to all of the older fans out there, you kind of started this whole thing. For years, we heard y'all badmouth modern players, saying the league is soft.
That part right here.
Players today couldn't compete back then. Back in my day, real men played the game. Y'all cannot be mad that some fans are done with the 80s and 90s when y'all never even gave modern basketball a chance. Sure, a lot of fans never took the time to go back and watch the...
I'm going to let him say that over again. Go on, hit me with it, Rob.
Huh?
I said, go on, hit me with it.
I would say,
Because
yeah,
I'm about to...
because he was like, real men play basketball. Yeah, y'all was on coke back then.
Hey, don't you ain't got a lie for him. You tell the truth on their ass. Look, I'm gonna let him cook because I like when motherfuckers like Real Endless give a complete breakdown of it. He's giving credit to the older generation. He's giving the comparison by jumping generations and eras and all that. He's giving all of that a full perspective, the full context. But he about to cook right here. I'm gonna let him cook. Anybody had anything real quick like if I play it?
No.
All right, we good. Let's rock. He about to cook them.
For years, we heard y'all badmouth modern players, saying the league is soft, players today couldn't compete back then. Back in my day, real men played the game. Y'all cannot be mad that some fans are done with the 80s and 90s when y'all never even gave modern basketball a chance. Sure, a lot of fans never took the time to go back and watch the greats of the past, but let's be honest for a second. Older fans don't watch games today. They catch a stray clip on Facebook of LeBron flopping, and like an echo chamber of disgruntled old men, they just start firing away in the comments, agreeing with one another. Y'all ask for this. I've been watching the NBA since the mid-2000s. Kobe, D-Wade, McGrady, Iverson, Shaq, Nash, those were my guys. But I can acknowledge those greats and say they were incredible while also acknowledging that that version of the NBA as a whole was not as refined or as good as it is today. Now, will I be able to make that distinction in 20 years when some snot-nosed brat tells me my glorious king was trash? I'm not so sure. Now, it's time to once and for all take a real close look at this accusation that Michael Jordan did not have a left hand. I felt like I was having a bad dream when I first saw this claim, but unfortunately, I was not. I feel like no one actually believes this. This is just some high-level trolling. But in an effort to stop this nonsense from spreading any further, I have no choice but to take these accusations seriously. So I selected 8 random games ranging from Michael Jordan's rookie season all the way up to the mid-90s, and play by play gathered all of his possessions throughout these games, charted when he went to his right, when he went to his left, and what those possessions resulted in. And here is what I found. Jordan made a move with his left hand or his right hand 227 times. Of those 227 moves, 121 of them were with his right hand and 106 of them were with his left hand. Of the 121 right-handed moves, he passed up or got fouled on 54 of them, so I didn't bother charting those. 65 of these moves resulted in a shot, in which he made 63% of them and only turned the ball over 2 times. Now, moves that he made with his left hand resulted in a pass or him getting fouled 45 times, while 55 of these left-handed moves ended up in a shot, in which he made 51%, and 6 moves resulted in a turnover. So based on this data, Jordan was definitely more comfortable going right, especially near the rim and even on mid-range jumpers. He struggled a bit in comparison to his right whenever he pulled up off of a left-handed dribble. But overall, Jordan went to his left 47% of the time, and although it was his weaker hand, he was still above league average even while going to his left. But 8 games and 350 minutes of basketball is a relatively small sample size. So I looked into it further and found this. A detailed breakdown of Michael Jordan's shot chart and shot tendencies in 3 seasons from 1990 to 1992. 126 games and over 4,800 minutes in total, tracking exactly what Michael did on the court for 3 seasons. And here's what the data shows. In total, Michael made 1,074 moves in isolation, going either to his right or to his left hand. 48% of those moves were with his right hand, and 52% of those moves were with his left hand. When going to the right, Michael shot 61.7% on 410 shots with 15 turnovers, resulting in 1.38 points per possession. When going to his left, Michael shot 61.3% on 421 shots with 36 turnovers, resulting in 1.31 points per possession. So even with a much larger sample size, Michael not only had a left hand, he went to it just as often as he went to his right and was nearly as proficient with his left as he was with his right. Now, for some context, throughout this 3-year span, Michael made on average 4.4 left-handed isolation moves, or in this case, isolation possessions, that resulted in 1.31 points per possession. Now, here are some prolific scores from this season and their overall tendencies and efficiency in isolation. Keep in mind, this data includes both right-handed and left-handed moves from these players. And now here is Michael Jordan with just his left hand. So, yeah, I'd say contrary to what has now become popular belief, Michael Jordan had a left hand. And I cannot believe we had to dig into the data to come to this conclusion.
Even if fair.
I think the overall idea that the 80s and 90s were a far less skilled time in the NBA compared to today is probably fair. I mean, you'd be crazy to think the game hasn't evolved in 4 decades. But to say the league was trash back then is just wrong. I think more than anything, it's the style of play and the way basketball games would unfold back then that really throws some fans off when they go to watch film of these old games. It's like looking at a box score from the mid-2000s and thinking everyone sucked because the games finished with final scores in the 80s. But the players weren't bad. It was just a different game back then. It was slower, more methodical, more team and scheme-based than it is today. And similarly, I think you could say the 80s and 90s had its fair share of bad basketball. But that doesn't mean all the players were bad, especially the superstars of those eras. That was just the state of the game they were playing in. I think some older fans have a skewed perception of how good the game was back then, but I also think they just genuinely liked that style of ball regardless of the evolution of the league. In 20 years, there could be a dozen players around the league that shoot like Steph Curry, but I doubt we will hold the same appreciation and affinity for those players as we did to the guy who pioneered this style of play and did it during the good old days. In the 90s, no one looked back at how the league was in the 60s claiming it was better. And so realistically, we shouldn't be looking back at the 80s and 90s claiming the league was superior than it is today, or even just as good for that matter. A lot of these ideas that favor modern basketball are becoming more mainstream as fans dive deeper into these topics and add context to narratives that have been floating around for decades. But I think this push to be done with the 80s and 90s is a bit overkill. We want to add context and nuance and knowledge to these discussions, not remove entire decades from it altogether. Sadly, I don't think any of this has or will change anyone's mind. This revolt against old school ball was either confirmation of what you already thought, or this entire discussion is just blasphemy to you. Are we done with the 80s and 90s? Maybe, but for the sake of the game and the greats that paved the way, I sure hope not.
I tell y'all, me personally, I'm done with the motherfucking 80s and the 90s. Them niggas can kiss my ass. And mainly because they started this shit. They started it. They started it and they won't stop. If you give an honest opinion like he gave, the game is evolved. The skill level is higher. The players are stronger, faster, bigger. And it's mainly because the evolution of everybody contributing to this game that we call basketball. But it gets better over time. And if they just keep trying to act like these players couldn't play in their era, these players aren't good enough. Like, dude, I don't know how true you can keep saying that. So I ain't gonna let it go. I'm done with them hoes until some of them old heads come back and actually give some of the young players their props, because it is what it is. But Big Bang, give me your thoughts.
I mean, look, I just think a lot of these old heads, they can't accept the fact, the game is not what it used to, and I feel like that's okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm following in that trap, but it's like, but you can't, but just complete just shit on the game, like, or no, just not even the game, the players, like, disrespect towards the players, like, bro, it's like, and yeah, a lot of you niggas, you can't tell, you delusional, you can't tell these niggas nothing, so it's like, it is what it is, bro. Hey, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. The numbers say otherwise. So if that's the case, why y'all niggas wasn't getting the money they were getting now? If y'all was like, and I'm pretty sure, though, I know it's a different time, but man, like you said, niggas was just getting paid just to be a enforcer. Shit like that. They had no real skill.
Shit, look, you kept it real, and I'm keeping it real with them too. Like, look, I don't like to disrespect their league. I don't like to disrespect their time, because that's a time when a lot of people grew up watching that shit, man. They grew up. Miss Lissy, I think you got an echo. Yeah, I see. Here, we'll figure it out. Here, I'm just let you talk. Yeah, stay on mute, and then yeah. But yeah, man, look. I understand growing up and watching something and having that nostalgia about shit. Oh, you still got echo. Let's see. Was it you? Hold up. Don't worry about it. It might not be you. But I know a lot of people grew up watching that era of basketball and they just can't fathom something different. It's kind of like, you grew up eating a certain food or something or going to a certain place and you just remember how good that place was, and then you go back when you're old and it just don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same. I would tell a lot of those people to go back and watch some of those games. I done sat on here and covered like fucking 10, 15, 20 minutes of a goddamn NBA finals back in the 80s and the 90s. Like, bro, that style of basketball is not something that you would watch today. You would that would be like you watching the top tier WNBA. Matter of fact, let's go to March Madness. It'd be interesting like that. The game was just different. But now that the game has evolved, the players, y'all old heads helped change the game, whether y'all know it or not. When y'all talk about how the rules change and how it's soft now, it's a lot of that shit stopped because of y'all. Y'all bitched about illegal defense. Now people can double team. Y'all bitched about getting fucking hit in the lane when you going up for a layup. That's why they allow players to have to be able to land on shots and shit. That's because of y'all. The players now are just operating underneath the rules that was there for them when they got there, and it all came from somewhere. If these old heads stop dogging out the young players, I think the conversation will be over with, because I think we can all give respect to people in their era. That's why Kareem and Wilt, they always get the respect that they get all the time when it comes to all-time lists. Magic Johnson, he still gets respect. All these players are getting respect. But just because one person might be challenging your greatest shouldn't be a reason to dog out a whole generation of players, because these dudes right now, I'm trying to tell you, y'all couldn't guard them niggas. like be real. You put you in your prime during your era and them right now, I guess you would have to ask the question, which rules we playing under? Because y'all couldn't guard them. Y'all cannot guard them players. That's what I thought. Mr. Listen, what you got?
Do I still got the echo? I'm trying to get on my other device.
Let me see if I say something. Yeah, you still got it, but I can't hear you when you can't hear it when I talk.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get on my other device. But yeah, I pretty much agree with you, man. It's all about errors at the end of the day.
Oh, I feel you on that. That's it. That ain't all you had. Keep going. Tell them where to find you at too, and I'm echoing. Hit your on mute real quick. There you go.
Yo. But
tell them where to find you at.
Shit, just Mr. Lister, man. Just type in what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm gonna come back in on my other device right quick.
All right, I got you. All right.
Bet.
Yeah, look, y'all, man, look, this argument, this debate back and forth, I think it's getting old, but look, I'm going to scorch earth on all these motherfuckers. And I brought up something that was an issue last year. This we done with the 90s shit. This was a year ago. This whole debate back and forth was a year ago. But now it's like, look, man, especially with all the shit with Stephen A. and LeBron, this whole shit with a lot of these, man, look, a lot of these old heads speaking on the game and people just propping people up like there's nothing better than anything else. Like, dude, motherfuckers got to open their mouth and speak against that shit, because it seems like a lot of people are trying to shape a narrative to what's that word I'm looking for? They holding on to the past so dearly that they'll discredit what's happening right now in front of their face. Put it like that. And I don't think we should sit around and stand by and just allow that shit to fucking happen. Like, if somebody has Kobe as their GOAT, man, look, by all means have it. Just don't get mad when people challenge that argument. If people have LeBron or if people have Jordan, don't get mad if people challenge that argument. And I already said what my shit was, even getting to the category. Rob, you didn't tell. I didn't know. Tell me if you agree with this. And this is just for somebody to be included in the GOAT argument, in the GOAT debate. Like, just to be able to get into the argument. Not saying they are the GOAT. This makes them the GOAT, but it gets them in the argument of being considered a GOAT. You got to have 3 chips, 3 finals MVPs, and 3 league MVPs. What you think about that?
Man, shit. LeBron and Jordan got that, right?
Mm-hmm. But there's some people that don't have it.
Yeah, it's Kobe.
Kobe ain't got it. Steph ain't got it.
Yeah, Steph.
Giannis ain't got it. Jokic ain't got it. Fucking, it's a lot of players. Charles definitely ain't got it. Fucking, Magic might have it. I think Magic might have it. There's not a lot of players that got it.
3 MVPs for Magic.
I don't know if he got all 3 of them. Finals MVPs and everything. I don't know if he got it all together. I have to look it up.
And Tim Duncan got 2 MVPs.
Because think about it, because think about it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, when you step in a room of winners, we have to start comparing the winners to other winners. Like, you can't compare that winner to the rest of the league and the rest of the competition. Them motherfuckers didn't win. But once we in the winner circle, we got to compare these motherfuckers to each other. And I think that's probably one of the easiest baselines to do a comparison if you want to have a GOAT conversation. You can't just do it one time. You can't just do it twice. You got to at least do it 3 times. The third time, like that's proven. You were what you were. If you can't get 3 league MVPs and 3 finals MVPs, that's why I'm like, Kobe got 5 chips.
Right.
Now, I know people put him as a GOAT. A lot of people have Kobe as a GOAT. They put him in front of LeBron. Dreamers Pro right now, I had to do a show on him last night. This motherfucker topping Kobe off from the grave. He's sweeping down. I'm like, look, dude, Kobe ain't got 3 finals MVPs. He don't. And there's a reason for it. Shaq got 3.
Yeah, because your support and cast matter, bro. It really do.
The GOATs are always the people that led their team. They were the main reason that they won games. If you can't be the second best player and be considered a GOAT, you can't.
No, you can't, bro.
And like at the bare minimum, I need 3. Like, if Steph Curry here, let's say Steph Curry wins. Matter of fact, let's say LeBron wins 2 more championships, and he don't win Finals MVP. It wouldn't knock his legacy. He'll have more chips, but people are going to argue, dude, you won the Finals MVP. They give Jordan 6 final MVPs. Every time he went to the Finals and won, he was the MVP. Every time LeBron went to the Finals and won, he was the MVP. There's not a lot of people that you can really say that about. That shit, Iggy got one on Steph. I think that was some bullshit too, though. That was some bullshit when they gave that shit to Iggy. Now that motherfucker they gave that shit to a motherfucker who guarded somebody who averaged almost a damn near 30-point triple-double. It's like, what?
I was like, y'all might as well give it a Draymond. Shit.
That's what I said. Well, like, man, Draymond should have got that before Iguodala.
The fuck?
Like, then, because I was like, man, they robbed Steph like crazy when I seen that shit at the end of it. I was like, damn, you ain't gonna give it to Steph?
And matter of fact, Draymond should have got that for real talk. I feel like him not being in the finals when they took Draymond out is probably the reason why they ain't get swept.
At game 5.
Game 5, bro. That turn, like you gotta be for LeBron fans to acknowledge that you gotta speak on it. Like
They played a big part. It's like, look, it's just like when Chris Paul pulled his hamstring in the Warriors. The Warriors, the only team that could have beat that Warriors team was that Rockets team. Yep. And it's a question that will always be up in the air. If Chris Paul didn't pull that hammy, would the Warriors have won?
Yes.
And I ain't got a problem with that because I'm a Steph Curry fan till I die. That's my squad. I rode them boys, and I will sit here and tell you, nah, bro, I don't know. I'm glad we don't have to figure it the fuck out. I'm glad we don't because they could have beat us. It looked like they could have beat us if Chris Paul would have been healthy. And motherfuckers got to admit that shit, man. No matter how good, like.
Gotta admit it, bro. You gotta be a real basketball fan.
That's what I really hope from these conversations, man. Like a lot of people, I really want people that watch this stuff and actually really pay attention to basketball. Like really put this in your soul, man. Take your bias out that shit.
Yeah.
That dilutes the argument, man. It dilutes the debate. And I'm talking about take your bias out, not just in sports, because if you can do it in sports, you can do it in your whole aspect of life. You got to take that bias out. I know you feel a certain type of way. You want this to be a certain type of way, but we can't change what the fuck it is.
Right.
We can't change what the fuck it is. Reality is reality. Facts are facts, man. But y'all give me your thoughts real quick. Like, I'm about to grab something because we got less than 19 minutes before we got to wrap this up because I need my clips.
Shit. I already ain't got shit. So.
Wait, here you go. Real quick. What do y'all think about Dreamers Pro saying that LeBron James is not in his top 5?
That nigga smoking crack.
Yeah. He just don't like me.
Yeah, he just don't like. He like a Skip Bayless type nigga.
I don't even think Skip Bayless. I think Skip Bayless at least will say he top 5. I think he said he top 3.
Yeah, when Skip Bayless was first trying to make his mark on TV, hell no.
Nah, YouTube on YouTube.
Yeah,
he's top 3. I give him that, but
yeah,
but say he's not even top 5 is crazy.
Yeah, you tripping. You tripping.
You know why he said he ain't in his top 5?
Why?
I'm gonna let y'all hear it. I'm gonna let y'all hear it dumb shit. I had to put this short up earlier today because I heard some of the shit he said the other day. Like, dude, I told you I'm going to scorch earth on this motherfucker. Like, I ain't even bullshitting. People call me petty, call me hating. I don't give a fuck. I don't give two shits. I ain't got time to be hearing these dumbass arguments. We got to start pushing back on shit like this. That's why people keep saying this shit all the time because don't nobody push back. Like, you don't say nothing when people fucking you over, motherfucker, they gonna keep fucking you over. Listen to what this nigga said to me. Why you took LeBron out for antics. What are these antics that you speak of?
Not on talent or anything, just antics. His antics.
Oh, did he literally say not on talent? Okay.
He gave LeBron his props. Now, LeBron was in my top 5. LeBron James got out of my top 5 purely based on antics. Not on talent or anything, just antics. His antics are just never ending. I like it.
So he don't like him.
That's crazy.
He don't like him. That's why LeBron James ain't in his top 5. Because he don't like him. He don't like him. Explain it. I'm going to skirt over on people that say stupid shit like that. Take your damn bias out of the conversation. He out of my top 5. It ain't got nothing to do with his talent. It's because his antics.
That's crazy.
Sound like
As I said, I don't.
Sound like politics to me, man.
Dude, what if I said Michael Jordan can't be my GOAT because he didn't want to sign autographs for little kids? He was an asshole to the fans.
The biggest asshole. That's the thing.
The biggest one on the biggest scale.
He got. Hey, it's crazy for me. It's crazy for me to say this because shit. All I do is buy fucking Jordan. But
damn, me too.
That nigga shot. Fuck out of here. What? Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
People buy Jordans because it's a fashion statement now. It ain't mainly because of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made the shoe what it was and made it cool, but now it's more of a fashion statement now. Michael Jordan gonna be dead and gone. Motherfuckers gonna buy them shoes just because they like the way them shoes look and everybody else got them. It ain't gonna, like, half of these motherfuckers ain't even gonna know who the fuck Michael Jordan is in 20 years, 30 years.
Right.
I'm like, look, I'm just gonna be pushing back on a lot of these dumbass narratives because a lot of people are talking. And one thing I will say, I'd rather be the players doing the talking compared to these sports analysts that didn't fucking play in the league. Like, I want somebody that truly know the game. It's just something about when you did something, your opinion on it carries a little bit more weight when you did it. Now, I'm not saying from the outside looking in that people can't analyze stuff and break it down. But a lot of these folks right now, it's a bunch of shock jock shit. They just saying stupid shit just to get some fucking views over there. Like, bro, stop coming at these people like this. Like, if it's a legit argument, bring it. Especially if it's pertaining to basketball. But when you see shit like what's that dude? KJP? He played for the Bucks right now. When he had his incident off the court, where they say he beat up his girlfriend and all this shit. Beat up the girl who she was sisters with the girl who was married to Dwayne Haskins. They said this dude beat her ass up, Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh yeah.
Stephen A got up on there and dogged that kid out. But at the end, talking about, well, we don't know if all this is true. But dogged them out on the front end. When motherfuckers do shit like that and never come back and apologize, like it's crazy. When that motherfucker sat up there and said LeBron wasn't at Kobe's memorial. When everybody know that nigga was there. I'm like, bro, you need to come out and apologize for that. And motherfuckers try to say he gave an apology.
I couldn't believe he said that shit.
Came back and apologized.
He didn't apologize.
No, he cleaned it up. He tried to
I don't
clean it
accept
up.
that as no apology. Yeah, bro, he didn't apologize. He just tried to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, he tried to say, I didn't mean to say he wasn't there in the building.
I just didn't see him.
I just did the cameras didn't pick him up. I'm like, man, shut your damn bald head ass up. You need to cut all that shit off, man. Every time I see you, the hairline keep going back and back. Like, go ahead.
He had been telling that lie. He had been telling that lie for over a year.
It's like every time he lie, his hairline go back.
Yeah, that man been lying for a while.
Yeah.
That hairline just keep on rolling.
Rolling, bro. It's getting really, really bad. Dang.
Did he just go bald and grow a beard? That's what he need to do. Go bald and grow a beard. You'll be all right.
His head shake too funny, bro. He's scared. He's scared, bro. It's a peanut under there. You can see it now. You can already see it now, bro. He look like, yo, Mr. Potato Head. For real. That's the real one, bro. Like, he need to go ahead and just be like Steve Harvey. Be like, you know what? I accept my fate.
Just go and cut it off.
Go ahead and do it, man.
Wax it up. Shave it, wax it. You good.
Go ahead, bust
Hey, that shit shiny, nigga. Hey, that shit shiny. But look, man, y'all give me your final thoughts, man, because we gotta finish it in the next 5. So yeah, give me your final thoughts on this, man. This old school versus new school hate, man. What y'all think, man? I'm gonna start with you first, Mr. Liston, and I'm gonna Rob.
I just think it's also I think it's the effort. I feel like the old school feel like the new school ain't playing with. Like Michael Jordan played all 82 games multiple times. So when you consider fans coming to arenas and they got to worry about the new guys with the load management and minutes and shit, I think that play a factor too that don't necessarily get talked about. The whole stars been playing out the whole schedule.
See on that. Look. I understand that argument too. And the sad part is, look, league trying to do something about it. You don't play a certain amount of games, you don't qualify for awards.
Yep.
Because a lot of these teams realize, like, look, man, I don't give a fuck about the fans seeing this player. I'm trying to win a chip. My career is on the line. These coaches, these front office organizations are like, nah, arrest them motherfuckers, man. We don't need to play that game. We in Charlotte, nigga.
Hey, bro, I ain't think they could do that shit, bro. Be honest. Like,
yeah,
man.
Look, they put it on LeBron, man. The Spurs was doing that shit way before LeBron started fucking low energy.
Kawhi Leonard, cuz.
Pop when he play his players at the end of the season. He's like, nigga, we getting ready for the playoffs. You talking about? They get their paycheck, but I get it. I get the argument, man, because it come from a moral point, man. Like you want to see the best out there on the court. Back then, Michael Jordan them had to. They had to. The motherfuckers had to. It ain't like people act like if they had a choice, they wouldn't have did it. Like if the motherfuckers had a choice, a lot of them niggas would have been sitting the fuck out of games if they had a choice. Just like a lot of them would have left their fucking team back in the day if they had a choice, but they couldn't. They played under conditions that were in front of them. That didn't make them harder. That just made it. That was the situation they dealt with. Now the players, now they got their situation. But I get it, man. I want to see players play more, especially if I bought tickets to go to a game. So I feel you on that. What you got, Rob?
Hey man, it is what it is with old niggas, man. Old niggas gonna be old niggas. So, but it is what it is. New niggas running shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't fucking. I'm tired of arguing about what back in the days and shit like that, nigga. All you old niggas, a bunch of throwback Thursday ass niggas. Fuck that. So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. I mean, hell, I'm not the biggest fan of NBA, you know what I'm saying, either. But you know what? I ain't about to shit on these niggas. Some niggas rich as fuck, being on bullshit. Fuck out what I look like. But nah. Yeah,
I feel you on that shit. I feel you on that shit, man. Look, Mr. Listen, tell them where to find you at one more time.
Yeah, man. Y'all know
Find me at Mr. Lister, man. Just type it in. You'll see the channel.
That boy be out there playing music, man. I see him with that guitar. I don't know who that white guy was.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, shoot. Most of my friends white, man.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Just ended up that way, man. But they cool, bro. They cool.
Hey, look, y'all make sure y'all go check him out. Rob, let them know where to check you out.
Yeah, man. Check me out, Big Back for Life. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, man.
Make sure y'all go check them out, man. And starting next time we do the next show, I'm gonna just have everybody put y'all a link in the chat so I can go ahead and put it up on screen, man. Y'all click on that shit. Make sure y'all go over and sub to people, man. Check them out, man. At least check the content out. But to this 90s argument, man. Look, man, fuck all these old heads talking shit, man. Look, your time has passed. We all have to learn to give it up one day. Like, look, man, I don't be yelling and talking all the shit because I still play ball. But I know some of these young cats coming in the gym can do shit that I can't do no more. I'll outplay you with my mind before I'll play you with my body because my body older. Like, look, man, you just got to admit, man, look, the evolution of anything, if you do it for a long period of time, it's going to start to evolve, man. It's going to evolve, and you don't have to diminish what came in front of you, well, what came after you, just to prop your shit up, man. You can be great in your own shit, but this shit talking, this disrespect that, man, goddamn, bitch, the disrespect that all these motherfuckers been putting on these new school artists, man, these new school cats, man, look, just stop it, bro. You older than that, you're supposed to be more mature than that, and you're supposed to look at the game in the real the aspect that it's supposed to be viewed in. You over here acting like little schoolgirls because you feel like your shit is threatened. So anytime somebody say LeBron's better than Jordan, or somebody say LeBron's better than Kobe, or whatever the fuck, look, just had an argument, bro. Stop coming with these whole ass arguments about my time and all this shit. Like, nigga, nobody give a fuck about none of that shit, nigga. That was the rules. That was the rules, and guess what? They changed because of y'all, nigga. That now we got these rules. It is what it is. The players play underneath the environment that they put into. But look, y'all, that's all I got. Look, it was fun. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn the notifications on, and share the videos. I didn't even think I said that shit in the beginning of the show. That's crazy. I'm tripping. But look, yeah, make sure y'all do that for your boy, man. We're gonna be right back up on here on Friday for sure. Actually Thursday, because I gotta do cops on Thursday. It's always Cop Thursday. Gotta talk about them crooked motherfuckers. But yeah, man. I appreciate all y'all that tuned in, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here and catch y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.